So what I want to know from both of you, Tanis and John, obviously this is a massive undertaking, what we're dealing with right now in terms of bringing people back to work and reopening offices and working through furlough challenges. So not that this is ever going to be, you know, finally wrapped up with a bow on it, but what would you say after some of the dust has settled here, what is the next big thing that businesses should be focused on? John, let's start with you.
Yeah, so I know that you've talked about with the dust settling, but I do want to be very careful with this because, you know, 38,000 people trying to bring them back off of furlough at the right time. And again, we won't do it all at once. Even though we have a very defined process and it's a logical process, I don't want it to feel like a process. And that word empathy that's come up a couple times, I'm reminded of a quote, not that I'm trying to date myself, but from the Eagles, I think it was Don Henley. You know, they have a high tolerance for repetition. And I want our leaders to have a high tolerance for repetition and do it in an empathetic way, because we have to do it 38,000 times. And if we don't do it right, the next big thing that we're going to have to think about is rebuilding our whole business. If we do it in the right way, now I think we can get even more aggressive because we've laid a really solid foundation with going from having almost nobody working to getting everybody back.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Tanis, what would you say?
I'll tag on to that by saying that, you know, purpose still matters. And so I think it's really about helping your employees grasp the purpose for which they're there, the purpose of the company, the mission of the company, and how their individual role contributes to that overall purpose. Because that's what keeps employees engaged pre-COVID and post-COVID, is understanding, you know, where they fit and where they contribute in the overall purpose and mission of the company. And so that's still got to be a focus. It's not just on tasks, it's also on the greater purpose and the greater culture of the organization. And not letting your culture get lost in the tasks of the moment.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tanis. That was a great final thought. Thank you, John. A lot of good things to think about as we move forward here. Thank you again for joining the call. Tanis, John, Robin, it was so great to have you on the conversation. And everybody in the audience, thank you so much for sticking with us through the full hour. I'll see you for the next one. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye. Have a great day.